One question we always love to ask our guests is like how you guys got started in this like business. Like when you were younger, how did you guys find comics? Like was it something you read or a TV show you saw or something like that? Or
Taylor, you want to go first?
Me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh well. Well, in Brazil, my father he created the first comic book in my region. It was 1963. He was an artist too, so he collected comics. So I grew up reading his collections that were mostly from the 40s and 50s. And so I grew up reading Black Terror,
oh
some
yeah.
very weird stuff. And so I had this, my father as a inspiration and as a tutor. He
Yeah.
guided me through the world of comics, introducing me to the masters, uh, creators that at my young age I would ignore normally, but because of him, he he taught me. Oh, see, we wise, but he draws in a funny way. Yeah, but look at the shadows, look at the angles, look what's happening in this panel. One thing happening for in the foreground, another in the middle ground, and another in the background. And he see how he marks the time with the drops of this the water of the sink. A lot of things that I couldn't notice because of my early age, but it brought my attention. Look at how Foster, how classic, how the amount of detail, the how natural the characters look like. So things like that. Oh, so so I had a great start to
Yeah, I was
just.
reading that about you and your father. Like that's one of the notes that I actually wrote down that your father was an artist. Looked like he also was like involved in like a radio DJ as well or something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he created this character, the Flame, in the when he was a teenager, and
Okay.
then when he started work on radio, like director, he wrote soap operas and everything. He did everything in the radio, and he brought his character, made him a soap opera because they were very popular in the 60s, especially in a small town like mine. And so it was a big hit. And then he thought, okay. And then he started publishing in the newspapers, daily strips. And then he did the comic book.
Oh
To,
wow.
but of course, he could not continue because he had to work, real work to do. So it was just for a few issues.
Yeah.
And he passed the baton to me. And then that.
Yeah.
It
Go
sounds
ahead,
like a
John.
very master apprentice type of relationship where at least in the work ethic of the matter, because if you look at most trades, it's the same thing. That's where the fine details are learned and passed down, and you put the time in, they build you up. And it sounds like that's kind of what you got from your father. It's wonderful memories to keep too, by the way.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, because we worked together for several years when I started doing fanzines and independent material, and he was writing and I was drawing, but because he instead of writing in a typewriter, he would do small thumbnails in half a page, half a page, and with the panels already there, with the characters, with the angle, with the place to put the balloons. So I was learning just by passing those thumbnails to a big page. I was learning a lot without knowing. So I
Yeah.
learned about timing, about narrative, about everything. Everything was there.
You
So
kind of absorb it. It's like you learn, like you said, you learn it without knowing it. It's just you
yeah,
absorb it, and like you learned it, but you couldn't define it.
yeah,
You just
exactly.
know it. Yep, that's
Yeah, I
wonderful
was
that you
reading
learned it
that
that
too
way.
that you guys had worked together. Like I actually have an image of one of the comics here that you guys worked on. Let me
Bring it up
real quick.
let's take a look.
It's and it was for Caliber too, which I
The Crow was printed under Caliber.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Fallout 3000. I guess this was it was
Cool.
called something else though in Brazil, right?
Yeah,
Mike?
it was 3,000 years later, the original name in Brazil.
Okay.
So it wouldn't work, so Dave saved us and put a name that would work for USA.
It's so different
a
from your
cover,
style.
a cover
now.
I did later on, so it's not from the time, but the interior it's from 1983. I was
Yeah, and your
20 years
your
old.
style has evolved so much from this. This looks like kind of like Image, like early Image style. Is that kind of
Yeah, but not the interior. The interior, you can find the genesis of all my style. It is there. You can find Esteban Maroto, Neil Adams, Casa, French author, Bilal. The genesis, the origin of all my style is there. I had no idea when I had to publish it in Brazil. I was rereading. Hey, it's all there. The use of zipatone, everything. The layout. So it was in development.
That's awesome.
The cover reminded me of the French comic Valerian. Like,
Yeah.
you know, or even like Mike S. Blueberry, the like spaghetti western kind of comic where that's very specific dynamic style. But
Yeah,
I got that vibe.
I was reading a lot of heavy metal comics.
Heavy metal, yeah.
A lot of Metal Hurlant comes from French with Moebius, a lot of guys, Druillet. So my style was a soup of all of that.
I think I can see the influence in the artwork. You know, there's traces there that I can see maybe filtered through your hand.
Yeah, and I completely forgot the influence of Esteban Maroto, because he did one of his first works was Cinco por Infinito. I don't know. I think Neil Adams published it as Space Patrol or something like that.
Okay.
He actually he kind of adapted it for his comics, but the original one is a masterpiece. It's fantastic. It's amazing. So I learned a lot from Esteban Maroto too.
That's awesome, Mike. You got such a rich history with comics. It's amazing, you know.
The only good thing about getting old is to have history.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.